you keep ending up in situations like this? Well, hopefully today I can give you some useful tips as a beginner that'll help you survive just a little bit longer. And we'll go ahead and get started with number one. So, as a beginner, I would highly recommend picking the burglar occupation if you're struggling to get a car early on, because it lets you hotwire cars and it's one of the most useful things that you can have in the beginning. I'll go ahead and show you how that works. So, go ahead and get the car. You can see I don't have the key, but if you go ahead and hold V and click hotwire engine, your character will go ahead and start trying to hotwire the engine. Sometimes it can fail, but right there it did not. So if you go ahead and hit it, look, got a car. I will warn you though, there is some downsides. It can hurt parts of the vehicle quicker if you keep starting the vehicle this way, but it at least lets you get around in the car that way. There's a ton of new armor in build 42 for all of your body parts, but you need to pick and choose what you're wearing, because if you're wearing too much, your character will become uncomfortable, and they provide a debuff. You see by those little green bars at the bottom, you would think they're good, but they're actually bad. They provide discomfort, and they can provide combat speed modifiers or run speed modifier debuffs. So you'll be running slower if you have these shin guards on, and you'll be attacking slower if you have the elbow pads. Elbow pads aren't that bad, but also different pieces of armor provide different modifier amounts. So the military stuff is the best, and then there's other in-between stuff that you can find. So make sure you're not wearing too much, or your character will start being uncomfortable and start hitting slower and running slower. And it'll just be a mess if you're wearing every piece of armor. So corpse sickness has changed a little bit. Before, you would just get the nausea moodlet, and that's the only way you knew you got it. Now you can get this awful odor moodlet. There'll be other ones too. This is the highest level one, but just to get rid of that, you just want to equip a respirator or like the improvised mask, and it'll go away. You should be now burying the corpses and stuff, or just like moving them out of your house or wherever you are, just by going up, hit and grab, and you can move them around. You can dig a hole with a shovel and drop them in there, but just make sure you're staying away from those areas for long periods of time that say that awful smell, just so you're not getting that corpse sickness and killing your character that way. The TVs might seem really useless when first starting Project Zomboid, besides getting rid of the boredom moodlet, but they can actually be really useful in leveling up skills in the beginning. So turn on that TV to life and living at the following times. 6 a.m. cooking show starts, at 12 p.m. the carpentry show starts, and 6 p.m. the survival show starts. But do take into consideration when watching these, they can only level up your skills to level 3. So don't rely on those shows to level you up a crazy amount. After you're done getting to level 3 and all the skills that it levels, I would start reading the books that are 4, 5, and 6 of their respective skill, and that gives you an XP boost based on which book you're reading of that skill. Muscle strain is a new thing introduced in build 42. Happens when you keep swinging your weapon over and over again, and will go from minor to normal muscle strain as you keep swinging. As you can see, I just got minor muscle strain, so now my hits are weaker, and if I keep hitting, it's going to go from that minor muscle strain to just muscle strain, which is a lot harder to get rid of than the minor. So make sure you're paying attention, and instead of just swinging over and over again and building it up in your arms, you should try this out instead. Now when fighting zombies and you hit them down or push them down, you should start pressing space while aiming to be able to stomp on them, and as you can see, it'll change it from just having your arms, it'll include your legs being muscle strained too, so you can fight for just a little bit longer without getting that normal muscle strain. And with the minor muscle strain, you can just, after you're done with the fight, go sit down like this, and after a little bit, it'll all go away and you'll be fine to fight again. Last little useful thing I'll give you here. Go into your options, go over here to user interface. You're going to have to scroll down here to where it says cursor, and then you'll see an option called melee target outline, which is pretty useful because when you're fighting zombies now, they're going to have this red outline, and it lets you know what you're going to hit, and when you knock them down and hit them, it'll let you know when they're dead because it'll unhighlight them. It's pretty useful if you're just beginning and struggling to tell what you're going to hit or when they're dead. So go ahead and turn that on. Hopefully these tips helped you stay alive just a little bit longer, and don't forget, like and subscribe and hit that bell icon.